Well, wouldn't you know it, everybody? We're back again. Another day, and another day with more NHL 24 ratings as we continue to build up towards the launch of the new game. Today, it is the top centers, as well as this list here of the top 10 fastest skaters. Now, much like with the deking list from yesterday, and again, if you missed yesterday's video or the one before, 4 days were the videos now? We've covered all of it, defense, wingers, goalies, so make sure to check it all out if you haven't already done so. Much like with yesterday's list and the top dekers in the game, I mean, danglers really, but hey, dangler's not a player type, at least offline. I'm not going to care too much about the top 10 speeds, really. I don't have too much to say because, let's be honest, it's... First and foremost, they don't give Connor McDavid a 99 because they love to avoid 99s in everything if they can help it. Secondly, I mean, shit, even the St. Louis Blues account here threw out the fact that, hey, where's Jordan Kyrou? The best thing I can say about this is I don't trust whatever formula they have to decide this. You could say, oh, is it the fastest players with the puck? Is it the fastest players without the puck? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The fact is you don't have a differentiator to say speed with the puck, speed without the puck, which are two entirely different things. This was posted within the last couple of days from the NHL Twitter account in regards to, hey, the players, this one in particular, players with the top maximum skating speed this last season. Yeah, you don't see Ryan Poehling, Martin Fehervar. You don't see the vast majority of the dudes in that top 10 also correlate with this list. You simply don't see that. There's the forwards with the top maximum skating speed. Again, is this with the puck? Is it without the puck? Is EA doing with the puck, without the puck? Who the hell knows, man? You have the defenders here as well. But obviously, when it comes to a list like this, you are going to see players with higher ratings. And every single one of these players has at least a 93 overall because that's how the game works. Speed correlates to high-end skill in the video game. That's just what it is. Whether it's in the frickin' sim, in Eashel, Hut, whatever, speed is king. Pace is king in FIFA as well, or FC now. It's just the way it is. I don't have much more energy beyond what I've already expended to kind of talk about just how meh this all is. I just don't. That said, we get to the top 10 centers list. Although before that, I should note as well, they put out two new sections here, the men's rating highlights, where they do list the top 25 fastest centers, which again is what it is, and the top 25 fastest defensemen, the fastest wings, so on and so forth, where you will see other names like Andreas Athanasiou, who should be up there. But again, for the most part, you're not going to see somebody that's not a more highly skilled player kind of appear on this list. You know, I mean, you can go through that defensive list right there, for example, and then we can go back to this list right here and look at defenders with the top maximum skating speed. Again, you're not going to see, I don't believe any of the top 4 were on that list, maybe one. You certainly didn't see Ben Sherratt, Eric Goodbranson, or Sean Durzi. So it is what it is. They also released the top women's players in the game, at least the top 15 forwards, which from what I can tell at first glance, it's obviously a lot of crossover from what it was previously with the likes of Marie-Philippe Poulin, Hillary Knight, Kendall Coyne-Schofield having the biggest ratings, and as a result, it's a lot of carryover. And again, the PWHL is not, the PWHL, the PHF, there we go, not in the game at the moment. Hopefully in the future, that would be very, very nice, but we'll get to the main gist of this at this stage because, hey, in terms of women's ratings, it's very, very difficult to rate them right now because, of course, people have played here, there, and everywhere and haven't been in a one single league. Shout out to my desktop. Apparently, I closed too many tabs. Sweet. Shout out to AEW Fight Forever. Anyway, now that I'm not closing too many tabs on myself, let's talk about this most recent list, the top 20 centers at least at launch in NHL 24. Number one, of course, is Connor McDavid, as it very well should be. But as you may have seen me point out on the Twitter or X side of things, I'm pretty sick and tired at this stage of, again, somebody like Connor McDavid having 95 defensive awareness, which is the way to get him to a 97 overall. I talked about in the previous video the old rating system that would have allowed him to have a more appropriate kind of mid-level defensive awareness. I'm not saying it should be a 70, but no higher than an 85. Instead, he has Patrice Bergeron Selke candidate defensive awareness, which is ridiculous. We need to go back at the very least to that old rating system so that he does not need a 95 freaking defensive awareness. And at this stage, if you're going to give him 98 puck control, just give him the freaking 99. If you're going to give him 97 deking, give him the 99. If you're going to give him 96 hand-eye, you know what I'm going to say. It's just, it's incredibly frustrating still. It's foolish. It's stupid. Should Connor McDavid be the top center in the game? Yes. Should he be the top player in the game? Yes. So it is what it is. The individual attributes still need work. Leon Draisaitl is tied as the second best center in the league. For my money, he should outright be in sole possession of second place because he is that man. He is that man. That's all I can say. And of course, 93 defensive awareness for him as well. Just beautiful. But Draisaitl in the 2 spot, yeah, or at least tied for it, is exactly where he should be. Nathan MacKinnon might be controversial. I have him just outside the top 5 at number 6. And again, that'll be controversial for some people, and I certainly understand it. Him having 94 defensive awareness is goddamn hilarious. But again, I'm going to be saying that for every single one of these players that are freaking 93 plus. It just is what it is. But, you know, I'm not surprised to see Nathan MacKinnon tied for the second best rating, especially, you know, of course, given the Colorado Avalanche Cup run 2 years ago. So that is what it is. But again, for my money, I'd have Draisaitl ahead of McKinnon. And then we get to the 293s. Sidney Crosby, top 4? For my money, no. Not anymore. Is he top 10? Yes, he is. I think you can argue him about as high as... For me, I'd go 7th. Anywhere between like 7 and 10 is very much a strong spot for him at this stage. Also apparently took away his goal. That is, if you can trust these ratings to be accurate. There are now... have now been numerous occasions where myself, Tactics, have seen ratings and been like, those are fucked. Only to be told, oh, those were wrong. I don't know what's worse, the ratings being potentially wrong or the fact that they're being listed incorrectly on a site for consumer consumption. So that's fun. But yeah, like 95 defensive awareness for Sidney Crosby, the 86 body checking, and people will be like, actually, there was this one fucking resource from HF Boards back in 2013 that shows that Sidney Crosby statistically hits harder than Nicholas Kronwall ever did. Sure, whatever. Again, Sidney Crosby is a Hall of Famer today. I think he's a little bit too far up there at this point. You have Austin Matthews clocking in at number 5. For my money, he should be in sole possession of third place behind just McDavid and Draisaitl. Again, apparently isn't going to have a gold. I don't even know if I believe that at this stage. Yeah, Austin Matthews is great. End of story. Austin Matthews is great. Mr. Pettersson, the not new captain of the Vancouver Canucks, who does maintain a gold. For me, Pettersson's in that Crosby range. 7 through 10, you're good. Top 10, without a doubt. Pettersson deserves very much to be there at this stage. So maybe a little bit high for my liking, but I can't necessarily disagree with it. Sasha Barkov, for my money, top 5. Top 5. Again, just behind McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews. He's in the conversation for 4 or 5. But yeah, Sasha Barkov should be top 5. He's not that far off. And again, there's a bunch of 92s coming up here. Well, a trio of them. But yeah, for my money, Barkov should be top 5. And again, the fact that Connor McDavid has the same defensive awareness as Sasha Barkov is hilarious. Number 8 is Braden Point. Again, for me, in that Crosby-Pedersen conversation, he should be top 10. So I can't necessarily disagree with number 8. Can't do it. So, yeah, Braden Point definitely deserves to be there. Jack Hughes definitely deserves to be in the top 10. For my money, he's top 5 right now. I'd have him neck and neck with Sasha Barkov for 4 and 5. Jack Hughes, he has arrived. He is the real deal. Not James Neal, but he is beyond legit. And for my money, Jack Hughes is a top 5 center in the NHL right now. And rounding out the top 10 is Tage Thompson. I would personally have him in the 11 spot, just on the outside of the top 10. But again, it's not the worst. It's not the worst rating in the world. And in talking about the one guy who's missing from the top 10 that I would absolutely have there, that would be one Steven Stamkos, who they have 15th. By the way, 12 through 15 are all 90s, and then 16 through 20 are all 89s, which is brutal. Yeah, for my money, Steven Stamkos should still be top 10. When I first saw this, I thought, oh, cool, they're including him as a right wing. No, he's still a center, and he's underrated as a result. So that's fun. But outside of that, for me, the top 10 is accurate, with the exception, again, you swap Stamkos for Thompson. I think we're good. You can debate the ranking of them. I do think the top 10 is pretty good, though. Number 11, you get Jack Eichel. For me, he is in the top 20 conversation, but, maybe it's a little high, maybe it isn't. I think it's unsurprising to see him here, given that the Vegas Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup, and he was beyond instrumental to that cause. But yeah, I think he's in kind of a logjam discussion of guys fighting for those last few spots in the top 20. I'm not saying he should be an 82, but a 91, maybe a little bit rich for some people's taste. Mika Zibanejad, absolutely top 20. Number 12. Number 12 might be a smidge high, but not by much. Mika Zibanejad deserves to be in this top 20. No doubt about that. Sebastian Aho deserves to be in this top 20. And honestly, I think he's right where he should be. Somewhere between 11 and 13, I think is pretty good for Mr. Aho. So, hey, no complaints about that. Evgeny Malkin, I think, is absolutely still a top 20 center in the NHL. Can't disagree with this rating. Might it be a smidge high? Maybe, but not by much. We already talked about Steven Stamkos. Tim Stützle, for me, is in the conversation for one of these final few spots. So maybe a smidge high at this stage, but no doubt Tim Stützle was phenomenal last season, and honestly, it wasn't that bad the 2 years prior. So can't necessarily disagree with it too much. Rupe Hintz should be higher. He should at least be a little bit higher. But I am happy to see him there. A couple spots, not a huge disagreement. It's good he's at least in the top 20. Martin Necas. The fuck are you doing here? Some Hurricanes fans might be furious at that. Sir, there is an imposter among us, and his name is Martin Necas. I don't disagree that he can hit those heights, but he hasn't hit them yet. No. That's my response. No, Toogie, what's your No, that's my justification. I don't need to justify it because it should go without saying. Just no. No. Nico Hischier, absolutely in the conversation for top 20. You could argue just on the outside looking in. I think 19, 20 is fair. And the same goes, honestly, for Dylan Larkin. I think he's in that kind of same boat. Which brings me to some names that I'm a little bit surprised that I don't see here. Chief among them, Mark Scheifele. I get it. His reputation's kind of in the dumps right now. Winnipeg wasn't good last season. He'll probably be traded or leave Winnipeg at the end of the season, whatever it may be. Mark Scheifele's still a top 20 center in the NHL. My guess is he's still an 89 and they just left him out, or he's an 88. For me, to have Martin Necas in your top 20 center list, but not Mark Scheifele, is laughable. You could even, and some people be like, oh, but he didn't do good in the back half of the season. It was bad. there's more of an argument for Bo Horvat being in the top 20 than there is for Martin Necas. Shoot me if you dare. But sorry, that's just from a stat standpoint, the analytical standpoint, the time put in. I don't know how, but here we are. Elias Lindholm should be in that conversation to maybe still be in the top 20. Anze Kopitar should be in that conversation. Tomas Hertl should be in the top 20 conversation. And while he's been injured for a bit, Sean Couturier could also very much be in that top 20 conversation when he is a healthy player. So again, for the most part, I do think the names that you would expect to see here are here. I do disagree with some of the placements, obviously. And again, no personal disrespect meant to Martin Necas. But like I said, to have Martin Necas on this list and not have Mark Scheifele on it at all is fucking insane to me. We started off this whole journey in terms of the ratings with a bit of optimism. The winger list, the defensive list, they really weren't that bad. But over the last 2 days, the goalies, the centers, top skaters, top deking, I'm not as optimistic in terms of the player ratings. And again, the problem is you can sit here and look at individual numbers, and these don't mean shit. They don't. You know that for the most part, they're not based on how good somebody actually is in that given department. They are artificially bumped up to get to an arbitrary overall number. And I think there is a variety of better ways at this point, whether it be, like I said, the older system from years past, the 360 PS3 era that allowed you to have a sniper and their overall be more heavily affected by the attributes that a sniper focuses on. Meaning, Tage Thompson, he's not the best example here. Meaning Connor McDavid doesn't need 95 defensive awareness to be a 97 because his offensive stats are insane. We don't live in that era anymore. And as a result, you get hilarious nonsense like 95 defensive awareness Connor McDavid. Among quite a few other examples, I could sit here and get into body checking, shot blocking, the works, and it's just, I've just come to expect this. Face-offs as well are another pretty rough one in regards to how people are rated. It's honestly kind of depressing in a lot of ways that it's still this bad. At the same time, there's no sympathy shown to them at this point. While I am very much aware of the system, limitations of the system, and how they go about things, you have people like Tactics, like Snipe and Score, like myself, who are right here as an incredibly valuable resource, who know what the fuck they're talking about. You could argue, oh, overalls, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But to know what the hell they're talking about in terms of, hey, we've done the research. We know what someone's fucking body checking should be, for God's sakes. Or their aggressiveness, if you want to say that's how often they hit. And that body checking should be the technique of it, which, how the fuck do you quantify the technique of it? You can't. And not to mention, I mean, Jesus, you know, shout out to Jesus. Not to mention the whole concept of go ahead and work directly with the JFresh, work directly with this company, that company. The tech is there, the resources are there. There is no excuse for bad ratings like this. There just isn't. And it's a tremendous opportunity to really lead the charge over other sports games. NHL can't compete with the budget of a Madden, of an NBA, of an MLB, of an FC. But they can compete with stuff like this, especially when a lot of those other games are really focusing so much on the online player. Not only, of course, does having more accurate ratings help the offline player, it would make Versus a better experience. It would make Hut a better experience, because not every player is going to feel the fucking same. And let's be honest, 95% of players in the game feel the fucking same. And they have for years and years and years and years, forever and ever. Amen. NHL 24 is coming out soon. I'm still excited for it, pumped for it, pumped even. I'm not pumped about this aspect of it, though. It feels like as a roster editor, I have a lot of work to do. And that doesn't make me happy because it's a really busy time in my life. I get married in 5 weeks. I don't have as much time to roster edit as I normally do. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fall, to say the least, with NHL 24. And hopefully, again, if the people I mentioned alongside myself continue to bitch and moan about stuff like this, maybe something will change, or maybe we'll just keep shouting into the ether. I don't know. Only one way to find out.